Hey y'all, I'm at the school in the pickup line. I ain't get here till a few minutes ago. I ain't leave the house till after 1. But to get the boys. Child, you see the cars already behind me, so it's already a line back there, child. I'm glad I ain't back there. So they come out there, get the boys, call them to the car, and we be ready to go. But while I'm sitting here, I said, let me go talk to my people. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? I'm all right. I'm not feeling the best today. I woke up this morning. Y'all know today was 2 first day of kindergarten. Remember I told y'all yesterday they did the staggered. So he didn't go Tuesday. Today was his first day. And but y'all, when I tell you, so yesterday evening, my hand started hurting, my thumb started hurting, the joints into my wrist. So from here back, it's been hurting. You see, it's a little swollen right there, but it feel like I broke it. Like that joint and that bone, oh Lord, it hurts. It feel like I really bumped something hard. So, yeah, it's hurting in my thumb. And then my big toe on this same side, on my foot on the left side, is swollen up and hurting. So that's how I usually can tell it's the RA. You know, this side hurt all the time. Like this hand is already kind of getting the way it don't straighten out, and my fingers don't work like they ought to all the time. Or I should say like they used to, baby. They doing what they ought to do right now, I guess. So, yeah, you know, with rheumatoid arthritis, the mornings, especially considering I don't take any medications. The only meds I take to treat my RA is my cannabis. I don't take any other meds. Y'all know, and I started another RA medication. This was my 5th one. Earlier this year. I actually took my first injection in December of 2024. So I took it in January. It was every 30-day injection, and I took it December, January, February, and March. I took 4 injections because my rheumatologist told me that it take that many doses to know if it's going to work or not. So I was like, oh my God, okay. So I took it. The pain and inflammation relief was not more than the side effects of the medication for me. So I made the choice not to take any RA meds at the time. But I had labs 2 weeks ago. They're all back. When I tell you, all of my inflammation numbers are high. All of them are high. So I'm not really surprised that I'm having this issue right now, because that's what happens. You know, when your inflammation numbers are high with rheumatoid arthritis, it means there's usually a lot of disease process going on. So, you know, it is what it is. I have some erosion already in some of my joints. You know, I had a great, I guess she'd be my great aunt or great aunt on my father's side who was actually wheelchair bound. So I did not find out about that until I actually had my RA diagnosis, and one of my cousins reached out and asked if I knew about, you know, the family history. And I was like, no, I didn't have a clue. Y'all know I aged out of foster care. I don't really know much about my father's family at all. And I know a little bit about my Mima family because my Mima told me that's my biological mother's family. But I don't really know a lot. And so, you know, but she reached out and told me that, you know, the aunt was in a wheelchair and that she had rheumatoid arthritis. So, you know, anyway, not that that's too close, but still, you know, it's what it is. So, yeah, so that is what's going on, and I just don't feel good. My wrist is not as bad. This morning when I woke up at 6 a.m., I couldn't move my thumb. That's how tight it was in the area without it hurting. So you see, it's better, right? So we'll take it. So yeah, but also I reached out to remember I told you that my primary care gave me a referral to a hormone replacement therapist for some HRT, and someone who is a gynecologist but has a lot of specializes with HRT. So I called today. Baby, they can't get me until October. The end of October, y'all. So guess we're gonna keep, baby, just have to keep my She-Hulk in check. Cause y'all, Liz, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and we was talking about, I was telling her that, you know, I was going more than likely start some HRT. And she was like, oh, why? She said, I'm usually the emotionally unstable friend in our relationship. And I said, well, when I start these hormones, we gonna change roles till it balances out. She started laughing. But listen, y'all, I don't know. I'm a little nervous because I know what's gonna happen. I know what's coming medically. I understand that once I start the therapy, it's gonna go the other way, right? My body is gonna be like, oh, and I'm gonna be crying. It's gonna be kind of crazy at first, which I'm aware. If I can control self, I can control the hormones for that period of time. But when I tell y'all, I'm excited and nervous at the same time. I hope that she will think I'm a good candidate, or the doctor is a woman, but I hope she will think I'm a good candidate for HRT. But all my tests are up to date, my labs, my blood work, everything is current. Other than my inflammation numbers, everything else is normal. Which, you know, my inflammation numbers are high, but that's to really be expected. Because I ain't had no, I haven't had a RA medication since March. So April, May, June, July, August. 5 months. So it's definitely not anything in my system helping control it or anything. Like, so it's definitely, my markers should be high, which ain't nothing I can do about it. But you do know that the inflammation that is in our body is what causes 85 to 90% of the medical issues we have in our bodies are caused from inflammation. Because inflammation is caused from high sugar, high blood pressure, high cortisol, high, all of these different things, cortisol, you know, if you didn't understand what I said. All of these different things are caused by inflammation. Inflammation can cause stress on your liver, on your pancreas, on your gallbladder, stress on your intestines, on your stomach, on your entire GI system. It can cause stress on your brain, stress on your lungs, stress on your heart. Inflammation causes all of these different problems because there's so many, and there are so many sources of to cause inflammation in your body. So that's why I'm gonna be, you know, I'm working a lot on my diet right now. I'm trying the AIP, the autoimmune protocol diet. No, Starbucks ain't on there, but I'm gonna get Starbucks, y'all. I just am. Okay. So I enjoy my coffee, and I enjoy it how I enjoy it. So I'm going to drink my Cafe Bustelo at home, and I'm going to drink my Starbucks when I ain't home. Okay? But I'm working on, it's the Autoimmune Protocol Diet, AIP. And that diet is specifically centered to decrease your inflammation. So this diet, because it will decrease inflammation, is good for you if you've got blood pressure issues, if you have glycemic issues, sugar, diabetes, if you have rheumatoid arthritis or other autoimmune processes, i.e. lupus, this is a diet that really focuses on decreasing inflammation throughout your body. So I'm very interested to see what I get out of it now that the boys are back in school and everything's kind of settling down. I'm fixing to get it right, and I figure I'll give myself from now through the end of the year to see if I notice any changes. So I think that's sufficient. And then if I do notice any changes, then I will carry it on and probably try to see what difference I see in a year. So I really want to try it. Other fad diets like, and AIP is more of an elimination diet. So the beginning of that is like just cutting out all types of things. And then what you do is you go so much of a period of time with very limited foods. Then you begin to add things back in to see what are triggers for your body, for your inflammation. So yeah, I'm kind of, I want to see, right? Like, honestly, it won't be worse than what's going on now. So I'm ready. I'm excited. I want to see, because listen, chronic pain leads to irritation, leads to being overstimulated, leads to just not a great quality of life. So I really have gotten to try to figure this out, the pain side of things, because y'all, it really I be hurting. So yeah, so that's the purpose of that. Then, so we got a lot going on. You figure I'm gonna be adapting this diet, but let's talk about other diets like carnivore, keto, those vegetarian, vegan. Let's be clear, all of those, especially a lot of the things you are able to eat in those things, the dairy, all the meats, that type of stuff causes a lot of inflammation in our bodies naturally. So all of that is eliminated with the AIP diet. So like I said, it's very focused on decreasing inflammation. So I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not giving up my coffee. I'm not Cafe Bustelo and not Starbucks. I'm still gonna enjoy those. However, the other stuff I don't think it'll be that hard for me. I'm so anxious and excited to see if it helps with my pain. Because listen, the pain doesn't help with the irritation, with the fact that I be ready to snap a neck. Y'all, for real though. Like, I really be just, and so being in pain and being fatigued and just all of those things, it's just a lot on top of what I already do, all my other responsibilities. And so I'm excited. So what do y'all, if any of you suffer with any inflammatory processes or diseases, what are some of the things you tried that work for you diet wise? Have you tried the AIP? Anybody out there tried the AIP diet? Want to share your success or no success, how it was for you? I'm curious. I'm just curious because I want to know. I like to have all the information. I love having opinions. It doesn't mean that I'm going to have the same outcome as you, but I love to hear about other people's processes, their experiences, what they did or didn't do, what worked for them or didn't work for them. Like, I love to hear all of that. I guess that's the sciencey part of my brain. But I want to hear all of that because I want to know, like, okay, because the truth is, if this works for you this way, I need to have more information to know if it may work for me that way. So you have to, you know, experiment, research, make an outline. You know, those things we learn in school, baby, it's like science project. That's how I be treating stuff. You know, maybe it's because, you know, from nursing school and all that. But, you know, I was a hospital corpsman before I was ever a nurse. So maybe that's why, you know. But yeah, I'm really got a lot of stuff going on. Y'all know Zane is on his own feeding journey. Like, we're eating all types of stuff. And so we're just incorporating all these things. BSB's diet is different because, you know, of his heart failure. So, listen, it's finna get interesting. Just on what we eating alone, just the three of us. So yeah, I'm excited. I really hope that I feel better. So I'm gonna keep y'all posted though. Y'all know y'all going on the journey with me. We're going together. You and me and you together. All right, y'all have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.